episode of our Think Differently videocast. It's a very beautiful, warm Sunday. You know, today we have a interesting topic: advertising for small businesses, right? So, just as a disclaimer, yes, we're talking about advertising, not marketing. I know people tend to mix the two up, you know. Let me just explain the difference. There's a difference between advertising and marketing, guys, right? So today we're focusing on a function of marketing. For those of you who don't know, marketing is basically you trying to figure out consumer needs and servicing those needs. Advertising is a function of making people aware of your products and services, and just overall what your business does, right? So we're looking at advertising. We're looking at cost-effective ways, because we know that times are tough and not every single business has the financial muscle to actually, pump in tons of money into an ad campaign. So we're looking at free advertising, so to speak, and cost-effective methods. So let's get straight into it, dog.
Yeah.
The first one would be?
So the first one, definitely my favorite, would be social media, because that's the one place you can do advertising for literally no cost, because you could do it from anywhere, right? So how can you advertise on social media? You've established your business, you need to do some advertising. Number one that I would go with is Facebook ads, right? So we've seen some Facebook ads. You always see them as you're scrolling through. You'll see someone with a picture of the business logo or their business products, and it says sponsored at the bottom. That's them who essentially paid for their business. They paid Facebook to post their ads to multiple people, right? So how it works is once you go onto Facebook ads to promote your business, there's options that go into that. So you can start choosing your target market. So whether it be males or females, whether it be the age, there's a bunch of other factors on there that you could choose from, and on who you want Facebook to create the awareness of your products or service to. So that's number one, the most effective that I've seen thus far, for the main reason that we have more people on Facebook than we do, and I'm talking about South Africa specifically. Other countries they would use like Instagram, that's more popular in their space, whereas in South Africa Facebook is quite popular with us. So you have Facebook ads, right?
Yeah.
I know someone who's had a lot of experience, someone who's always willing to assist us. So Shamira, I know you've done some ads for your business. Could you maybe just take us through that?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically how it works with the ads is that you as a business have a page and you have all of your products on there. Say you want to advertise to a specific type of target audience. In my case, we have a balloon business, so which means we would like to target people who are interested in gifting, and there's certain age groups that we look at to be able to target with that. So we would then go under, Facebook makes it very easy to follow the prompts. You basically select your target market, which can be, for example, I want 18-year-olds to 35, all females, and I want to be able to advertise to them over a period of 5 days. You can go longer, but Facebook charges you per day.
Yeah.
For example, I would run an ad for 5 days. I'd want the target market to be, for example, 1,000 people, which Facebook, I would then pay 100 Rand for 5 days of advertising, and I can then select whether I want people to engage with me through the page, or whether I want them to like my page. Do I want them to send me a message? What exactly do you want the outcome to be from that?
Like an action button type of thing?
Yes, an action button. So you would see it. I'm sure you guys have experienced that when you get an ad up on Facebook and you see the message them now, or like their page, or it's all selected target marketing. So you would select what type of intended purpose you want from Facebook.
Interesting. Yeah. And then how has placing ads on Facebook for your business helped you?
It's helped a lot. For example, I started off, before I started advertising, I had about 80 likes on the page. It was a fairly new business.
Yeah.
Just from advertising, I would get, let's say I had the first few months of the business, I had about maybe 10 messages or 20 messages. Just in the period of 5 days, I was answering about 20 messages a day.
Wow.
That's
Big
just
It's
difference.
a huge difference, huh?
20 messages a day, and that's just with 100 rand spent on 5 days of advertising.
So it was worth
It was definitely worth it. I would suggest it to anyone who wants to get their name out. That is the best way. I know people, I was that person who was also like, should I do paid advertising, because you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, but it definitely helps in terms of getting the name, getting the brand out there. You are targeting people more than just your family and your friends. You're getting to a wider target audience that you wouldn't necessarily have access to if you just marketed your product on WhatsApp, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, about that, there is an option to advertise on WhatsApp. But just to go back to that, you know, I think it's quite effective, because as far as I remember, there's like on Facebook it'll show you've reached so much people
Okay.
for the day. Like, so let's say I've shared it.
Yeah.
It has a reach little bar there. And it's like reach 60. And after she's done the paid advert, I mean, she was reaching 600 people.
Okay.
So whether or not they bought anything, that's that. But at least they're aware of the product, and they're aware of the service that the company is offering.
Okay.
You know, so that I think that does really help your business.
Okay. I think that's interesting. So the more people that you want to reach, you can obviously pump more money in.
Yeah, you pay higher if you want to reach more people. I would select, for example, 1,000, because for me, 1,000 is a big number when you're starting. But obviously, for example, if you are Coca-Cola wanting to advertise, you're not going to pick 1,000, you're going to pick 10,000 people.
A lot more.
Yeah, so it depends on the frequency, it depends on how long you want the ad to run, how many people you want to target in that group.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very interesting avenue, though.
Yeah, so I mean, there you guys have it. Why not just open your phones now and go onto Facebook, get your business running through that. It's going to cost you. In fact, the cost I saw on Instagram, because Instagram also has a similar option where you can market on Instagram, right? And Instagram it's quite similar to that actually. In fact, but they co-joined, aren't they?
Yeah.
The two social media platforms are co-joined. So when I was playing around with it, I saw that you could do the same thing. It has like a slider. So for 5 days you pay so much. If you want it for 10 days you pay so much, and you reach so many people.
There is a minimum amount like that you have to pay, which I think is that 100 rand of paying for the 5 days. So you can't, for example, like they give you the ratio of how much you're spending per day per ad, you know. But I mean, there is a minimum amount that Facebook says you have to adhere to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, which I think is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, get your business going. It's going to cost you 100, 200 grand and reach more people. So that's really a great option.
What's the difference between the Instagram ads and Facebook? What's
So to me the difference, right, and I'm going to put it the way I know it.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking from a business perspective, I'm talking from a user perspective, is that you have less people in their 40s to 60s on Instagram versus Facebook, where you would have people like that constantly. You know, like especially if you're in your 50s or your 60s and you're just chilling, you're enjoying your retirement or whatever, you're on social media. I mean, we've seen it with our parents, they're like on social media for a good solid hour or two. To me, the difference is the users who's on those different platforms. So if you're targeting a younger platform, you're looking at your places like Instagram and your TikToks and so forth, and then your older people would be also your Facebook. Yeah, just depends what's your product, what you're targeting.
Me personally, from what I'm hearing, Facebook ads is more it's more effective, so to speak.
I would say so, for the main reason that there's more users on Facebook. I mean, we use Facebook for memes. Like people like our age, younger, they use Facebook for memes. So if there's a meme and there's your product that appears next because you've paid to use that that advertising service, then it's going to appear there nonetheless if you're looking at memes or not.
Okay.
And then so it's just moving away from Facebook is the stuff I mentioned about Instagram.
Yeah.
You could apply the same thing, like we said, different target markets. And look, on Instagram, there's the options of sharing. Well, Facebook has the same options, quite similar options. Share to your story, send directly to people. You can create groups where you can share this information to the people as well. And you could manage it. You could advertise a lot on Instagram. Just depends which platform, it just depends who your target market is. it doesn't matter which platform it is, who's your target market. That will define which platform to use to advertise. So just some tips to use, just some tips for social media to use. Constantly engage with people. Like, you have no choice but to engage. Like, I mean, if you see a picture of someone and they just like, posing in the sun or whatever, comment and say, great picture, awesome picture. It doesn't matter what they're posting. What matters is their engagements. Because what happens is, in the background, like the algorithms, is the more you engage with people, naturally the more they're going to engage with you. And that's going to then make your business seem like there's a lot more engagements happening.
More popular.
It becomes more popular, essentially. So you then have, because you're constantly engaging, liking, commenting, that almost helps your business advertise.
Yeah, so I have a few tips from my personal experience, which is basically make sure that your product offering is solid. Once you have that, because people want good customer service and you need to be able to deliver that. So as much as you're putting your ads out there, doesn't matter if your customer service isn't great. You need to reply to them on time. People expect instant replies because it's social media. And you need to be able to be quicker at that, have your product offering really solid, because it really helps when they come to you and they see your ad. I mean, just by them clicking on it is already the first step you just got to pull through.
Like what you guys are saying, because for me personally though, like my business, I have no digital footprint though. But I don't know why, don't ask me why, but I suck via social media. I'm still very much on the ground, doing, still, door to door, face to face, which is obviously time consuming, and I feel like I would have, advanced more if I did have a digital footprint. But since you guys are talking about this now, I'm learning as well, hopefully as much as the viewers will be learning. So I'll definitely take this into consideration.
So the one thing is definitely it takes up time.
It takes up time.
Because I think dedicate some time to make sure you get your advertising right.
Exactly.
Take a week to just do advertising. Every day you are posting something. Whether you're posting once a day to 4 times to 5 times a day, post that for one solid week. Just post, comment, like, subscribe to people's stuff, comment, and just follow the process. It shows that engagement, and it will really help your business elevate. But it does take up a lot of time, and you need to get ready for the fact that there's a high chance you'll get a lot more customers coming to you, and a lot more people trying to say, what do you offer, and so forth.
So on and so. All right. And then another one found quite interesting is the online community groups. So your WhatsApp groups, your message groups, and your Facebook groups. The one that I've personally joined is called Brownsons. I'm sure a lot of you know what Brownsons is. A online community for black-owned businesses, right?
Okay.
So what you do is you obviously want to join the group. Then they verify your account. I think it takes about 48 to 72 hours. So you must be a business. I can't be just like an individual wanting to join. The prerequisite is you have to be a business, and you go on there. There's just a bunch of black-owned businesses circulating, offering their products and services. But I must say, you don't go into an online community, especially like that one, and just flood, the pages with adverts, because you will get kicked out. So there are etiquettes. There are rules and regulations that obviously the group has set out, so you must follow them. And obviously, just like what we've been saying, you need to engage more. If there's a particular, say, topic that they are discussing, obviously give tips and advice as well. And then just faintly advertise your products and services, right? So they will give you restrictions, like say, you can only post an advert, one advert a week, for example, right? So I think it's a very good initiative as well. It's a good platform for businesses to, get your name out there. So
that's really great, right? I didn't even know there was one like that.
Yeah, but online there's a bunch of them, obviously, because remember the social media, there's always a niche market for everyone. There's always a place for people, for like-minded people to hang out. So you are going to find that area in which you will put your business in a space that is relevant for the particular product or service.
Makes
so
sense.
an online community, I think, is a very good one.
Yeah,
for that room as
and on those prerequisites, I joined some group on Facebook, but it wasn't like a business group.
Yeah.
It was more of an entrepreneurial mindset group.
Yeah.
So like they do a lot of like posting of like motivational quotes and some stuff like that. And I actually saw the prerequisite, and I was quite confused. I was like, okay, so I need to join this, but I'm not allowed to do this. I can only do certain stuff and so forth.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm not going to do all that, so I'll just join it. Nonetheless.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's another one for social media, online community groups.
Yeah.
You can even start your own on WhatsApp. Invite people that you know that are in business and get the the information going that Romeo from Cape Town has a balloons business. CK from fucking Pretoria has a weddings business, and we can now join forces. You know what I mean?
That's really great. On WhatsApp as well is the broadcasting option.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't like to be part of groups because for the main reason that there's always constant messages and images and videos that gets posted there. Nonetheless, there's the broadcast option where you say new broadcast, and so what you need to do in the background is you need to formulate your advert already, and then you create your broadcast, you select the people you want to send it to, and you just send it out. They don't know it went to other people, so then it's like you sent it to them.
Personally,
So I've done that also as well. So, just to end off that discussion of advertising on social media platforms, there's a lot of platforms you can use. Also Twitter, which we didn't touch on. There's hashtags. Twitter made hashtags quite popular. And for example, if you hashtag and think differently, so if you put a quote and you say think differently, as time goes on, if more people use a hashtag, that also creates more awareness. So I don't know if a lot of people know that, but even if you advertise in your product, hashtag your brand name or something that's synonymous with your brand, and keep that as your standard hashtag. So the minute someone says think differently, that hashtag automatically reminds you of think differently. So there's plenty of platforms you could use. Those are just the big ones that's currently in South Africa. To move on, something that's very important as well would be networking. Right, it goes hand in hand. The more people you know, the bigger your business can grow. Right. So basically, networking in the sense where you guys go to seminars, well, to be online seminars. Consider current conditions. So whether you're doing online seminars, whether you're doing actual going to a seminar. So for example, I go to a property seminar. Right, the chances are there are people there who are already in the property game. They're just going there to see what this company has to offer through their seminar. So you go there, you get the people who's watching, and you just start talking to them. Make friends. What do you do? I run my own business. I start my own balloon business. So it just depends. What you go in there for. You can go there to promote your own business, or you can go there to actually learn more on that topic. It will cost you easy. Well, I actually went to a free seminar once. So the free seminar, and you pay for the next class. That was it. So I think that's well worth it. You go in there, just drive there to the seminar, start talking to people, and you can start marketing your business just like that. So networking is very important.
Definitely. Also, one thing on networking, what I just wanted to say is the basis of networking is on the conversation that you have. Because I think people lose the element of that human touch. People just approach with this thing of I need to pitch my business idea. Sometimes you don't even greet the person. Hey, how are you? Or I liked what your presentation was about. I like these things. So you should always be thinking of just have a normal conversation with someone. Might not even be
in common.
It might not be not necessarily in common, but nothing fruitful might come from that conversation. But just go there with the thing of you honestly want to pick someone's brain. You want to learn something about particular industry or skill set or technique or whatever. If the conversation of your business comes up, be ready to pitch it also with the business card, right? But it should never be a thing of I'm going there with an agenda, because it will obviously come off as not genuine anymore. So I think that's one thing that I've learned with networking is you should always just be a normal person. It's as if me and you have no conversation, right? If I'm gonna, by chance my chemical business comes up, I'll pitch it to you. This is what I do. Is my business card. Whatever happens after that happens.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think a great starter is complimenting someone's shoes or their dress.
Exactly.
You'll start the conversation, but you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Simple. Dude, I love your suit. Girl, I love your heels.
Something like that.
Something as simple as that will start the conversation, and you can then take it from there. Start talking, networking, understand what they do. Maybe there's, like you said, you can find benefit from it, or you're not going to get anything from it. But that's the process of networking.
Exactly.
And you keep those people close. You never know
what might happen.
Yeah.
Right. So on like the thing when you said the free seminar, right? I want to branch out from that. Another way of advertising, I feel, for small businesses is hosting a workshop, right? So a workshop is basically a educational program for a small audience or group, right? Where you guys discuss particular skill set, particular industries, trades, techniques. So I think a very popular one that you guys might know or might not know is the Vusite Mabayo's entrepreneurship masterclass, right? Usually has a recap or like the videos he uploads them on YouTube as well. So he basically talks about all the entrepreneurial challenges, how to overcome them, all these little nitty-gritties that a lot of people don't know on a particular industry, right? And it's a free of charge thing. We go there, we just we learn from different people as well. So it's for business. If you're hosting one, say for example you have premises, you can have one on your premises. It's free marketing. People will come there just make sure it's worth their while. People come in and spread the word that this guy has he usually hosts workshops like once a month, and the word will spread eventually. Right? So just make sure that it's something that you know very well. You can have it one day or in the evening. Just make sure that it's something that you know very well. And also on that, it's also a great way to network as well, because the people that go there, they obviously want to go there to learn something.
Yes.
Be it a skill set, be it a technique, be it more information on a particular trade. So you're going to meet like-minded people. It's a great way. If you do not have a premises, obviously you can try partnering up with other restaurants, with other offices, with other guest lodge, guest houses, which is also free marketing for them, because you'd be on their premises. They're obviously going to be curious about what this premises does. So it's mutually beneficial for you and whoever you're partnering up with. Right? So hosting a workshop, it's also a good way to advertise your business.
So on the workshop stuff, you have to be very knowledgeable in what you're doing. Because remember, you're inviting people over. You don't want them to feel like it was a waste of their time.
Exactly.
Because then when they go out, they'll be like, it's still wasting my time.
Even though it was free, but I didn't learn anything.
So I think it's very important that you plan your script out and you go through it thoroughly. You run it through your family, your friends, whoever you can, even strangers. Like get some strangers, like, listen, I have a free workshop. If you'd be interested, come around. And that's it. Something else I thought was quite popular was, not popular, I just felt it was quite effective, is to collaborate with other business owners. So some examples of collaborations, one that's very popular and you all know, Mr. D and Uber Eats, right? So two separate companies, but Mr. D has partnered with all the fast food restaurants and takeaways that's close by in the vicinity. So that's an example of a collaboration. I know Shamera tried for the balloons to collaborate with a lady who also has her own business, a small business. She makes desserts and so forth, like these very fancy desserts you don't see in stores. So she tried to collaborate with her in order to incorporate those desserts into her gifting packaging. So that's another example of collaborations where you engage with someone who does desserts and you do gifting, so you can work together. So obviously you buy from her and so forth, but nonetheless she'll advertise for you because it's bringing her business, and you'll advertise for her because it's bringing you business. And that collaboration can happen that way.
That's a good one. Collaborating is you see it all the time, bro. It's the delivery and your McDonald's and KFC, Uber Eats, McDonald's and KFC, all those things. You know? So it's a pretty good one that I think small businesses we should collab, bro. I mean,
small businesses
we should collab. I mean, why, for example, should I, go to big businesses just to buy something? Whereas if someone small, I can reach out to you and say, you know what, let's join forces and enjoy, the synergy that you could, possibly get. So that's a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Because both businesses can benefit, from the marketing.
Definitely, and supporting local,
Exactly.
instead of all these exports that have to come through and you pay even more.
So that's the collab. So another advertising avenue, it's a bit of a traditional route, would obviously be, you can always reach out to your local newspapers and place an ad on there. You can always reach out to your local radio stations and place an ad on there. Also, you can use busy businesses, so like your spazas, your barber shops, and always place an ad on there. Use their foot traffic as an influence, right? Advertise your products as well by method of flyer. Okay, one thing I've done, I just want to say this for my business as well. So I've touched on the fact that I have a detergent business. So one thing we've done is in the townships, which is where I usually push most of my products, we've actually gotten a deal with some of the local spaza shops there. So they stock our products, and what they do is, what we've done rather, is now we have your A3, sort of like your hard cardboard, and we made like a graphic advert. So we placed it on the outside, so when a customer comes in, they see that, oh, okay, this product is sold here. Right? So we give a price, and we just placed it on a number of spazas, you know what I mean, just to get some traction as well. So those are some of the traditional methods I think are still quite effective.
I would agree.
A lot of people are still using radio stations. I know that you pay a certain fee, and then there's a slot, maybe not really traffic hour, but whatever, maybe of voiceover or whatever. They just slot it in. They say this product does this and that, and then you pay them a fee. Local newspapers. I mean, in the south we get the Southern Korea. You can always approach them for placing an advert in their newspapers.
Yeah, you can.
Barber shops, who doesn't cut their hair? Guys, come on. Ladies as well. Your hair salons, place an advert in there. And bro, just get some traffic.
So
traction, not traffic.
So talking about barbers and hair salons, I actually, from personal experience, I've given my barber some flyers to keep in his shop, so that he can then, I know he has customers coming in almost every day, like guaranteed almost every day. And so when they come in, they'll see that the flyers are there, and they can always, so while you're cutting your hair, you're going to be looking from the corner of your eye, what's this balloon stuff here, or whatever it is, and then it's just like, grab a flyer, can I take this? And, so that's another way to advertise. You could use that. There's so many platforms that you could use.
There's a lot, bro. Another one I think we didn't touch on in terms of the social media. But okay, maybe just say the internet space is like your online business directory, right? So it's basically a platform that lists all types of businesses, like based on category. Can be mechanics, can be cleaning companies, can be even handyman, handyman. It's different categories. You list your business. So say for example you don't have a digital footprint as yet, you can always leverage on their website, because I know that they get a lot of online traffic as well. So what they need is, you just need to maybe upload your profile. You just need an email account to sign up with them. You upload your profile, say your logo and your contact details as well. If you do have a website, you can always list your link, and obviously when someone goes to that business directory, they just click the link, and direct them straight to your website, right? As well. And I think some of the popular ones would be Azani, Easy Info, Niche Market. I think those are the ones off the top of my head that I can think of. So try check online business directories as well. It's good.
Okay. Yeah, but I've never thought of trying that actually. In fact, I wasn't aware. I personally wasn't aware of that. So I think if you weren't aware, that would be really great. This is knowledge for everyone, and we should start using these platforms available to us. And now that we have a lot more time to be on the internet.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's very popular, so you know, go ahead and use it.
Right. And then I think just to sort of like wrap it up, bro. In my opinion, you know, over so many years, the most effective advertising, so to speak, is word of mouth.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'll speak from experience. I think my products would have never reached the amount of people that it would have reached had it not been for word of mouth.
Yeah.
Right. So I think a lot of people know that word of mouth. I think we've seen it so many times. Like people find a new product or service and they recommend it. If you've even seen it with basic things like Netflix. I mean, remember how Bird Box blew up because people kept recommending and kept trending. So I think that's the power of word of mouth, is that you need to obviously, because remember, word of mouth is always based on the quality of the product and the quality of customer service that you give customers, right?
Yeah.
So if you can get that right, people will always keep recommending that there's this balloon company. I love the service, great quality. It's always on time, whatever. It'll spread like wildfire.
I never think of it in that sense, but now that you mentioned it that way, it makes sense. I mean, Netflix, and just using Netflix as an example, exclude Bird Box, Netflix, when it came in, it was, it was a bit shaky, like not everyone was sure. But as time went on, from my family perspective, I got Netflix, and I explained the packages to everyone, and I said, this is what I like about it.
Exactly.
Next thing I know, all of my family has stopped. They've stopped DSTV, they're moving to Netflix. Besides the cost and all that, just the power of word of mouth.
Word of mouth. So yeah, I mean, so just I mean, any advice, to small businesses out there, make sure that you offer superior quality and great customer service. Trust me, the word of mouth is going to take you far beyond what Facebook ads and whatnot can. Honestly speaking, from experience. I don't do the Facebook ads, the whole thing, but my products push because of word of mouth.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking.
So I guess that comes down to the target market then as well.
Definitely.
Because there's some people, like if you, for example, you're calling me to tell me about this.
Yeah.
If I'm busy, I'm just like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, sweet, done. And then it's like it's in one ear out the other.
Exactly.
But if you're targeting people, the younger generation who are always on social media, that's who you want to target.
True.
That's where you got to go to place your adverts. So know your target markets, know where they are.
Exactly. And also, sorry, one more thing to add about word of mouth is that the reason why it's so powerful is because it's always from an angle of trust. Because if, like you said, you recommended Netflix to your family, they always trust your opinion, you know what I mean? It's not like a stranger coming and like, hey guys, here's Netflix. It's always the thing of, Romeo is my nephew, I trust his opinion, so I'm more likely to be more open to trying this new product. And 9 times out of 10, if you like it, someone else is going to fall in love with it and they'll spread the word. So that's one thing I can say about word of mouth.
Thanks for that, bro. I never think of it that way. So just to end it off, I guess, is, like you said, word of mouth. We gave you guys a whole lot of other options. There is a whole lot we could actually talk about, because there's so many avenues for marketing, and it's just a matter of using those avenues. But we've given you the popular ones among social media and your business directories, like you mentioned. So that's entirely up to you guys. In fact, if I were you, I'd straight after this get onto my Facebook page, start marketing my business straight away.
So I think in closing, I just want to say that people just always remember that advertising. I think like I touched in the intro that we obviously speaking to cost-effective or rather free advertising, because we know that not every single small business can afford a huge ad campaign. In the same light that just because it's free or cost-effective marketing doesn't always mean that it's going to be effective. Like the same way, if someone splurges billions on an ad campaign, doesn't mean he's always going to get his ROI. You know what I mean? So you should always understand that advertising is a process that you need to invest in, whether it's monetary or time-wise. It is something that you have to go through.
No, definitely. So guys, Shamira, thank you for your inputs on the Facebook ads as well. I think you have more experience than both of us here in that. So I'm ready to start advertising. Guys, share, subscribe,
comment,
retweet. Also, yeah, sorry, on comment, guys. If you know any other platforms or any other ways of using of advertising, please do drop a comment. Let other people know as well. Let's grow together. Let's think differently together.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it, man.
Peace.